Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday morning, March 24th, 2022. I hope you guys are all doing well. I've been off the air for a few days because I got me a job. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm all about the entrepreneur life. But at the end of the day, you still got to pay them bills. You still got to take care of business. And I'm a single mama. I do what I got to do to make sure that my kids got everything that they need. And, I just got to make it happen. So I'm blessed to have a huge support system. My son's father, my mom, my kids' other grandparents, the Davis family, my sister, who, even though she's in AZ, she still is always there and supports us. So I've been able to, pursue the things that I want to pursue and be able to work a job, be able to still pursue my dreams and pursue my passion. So it's a beautiful thing. So I hope you guys all are having a great week. If you missed me, I'm glad to have you back. I definitely, sometimes take breaks here and there, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be gone forever. I'm always coming back. So I appreciate everybody that tunes into LR TV. I appreciate everybody who sends messages when I'm not on air and is telling me to get my butt back on air and get the show back started. I always miss you guys when I'm not on air, but it's a lot going on. And you all know, because a lot of my listeners and viewers are entrepreneurs yourselves. You guys have businesses, you have jobs, you have families. So everybody knows how it goes. And that's the name of the game. You just got to make it happen. And you just got to take it one day at a time. So that's what I do. And, we're making it happen by the grace of God. So today is currently 47 degrees. It's a little chilly out there. We had a couple of spring days last week, and back a couple weeks ago, we got excited. We thought that, springtime is here. We're going to get this warm weather, but it only lasted for so long. It's still a little bit chilly out there, but I'm not going to complain because, quite honestly, it could be a lot worse. It could be colder, and I'm okay with 50-degree weather. So it's currently 47, and we're going to get to not much higher than that. The high of today is going to be 48. So we're pretty much at a standstill where we're going to be at for temperature today. Friday, which is tomorrow, we're going to have a 50% chance of rain. It's going to be high of 46. And then Saturday, we're going to be dropping down to 43. And it's going to even drop down even further Saturday night to a low of 30. Sunday is going to bring some real chilly temperatures. It's going to get down to about 35 degrees. So definitely make sure you don't put that coat away. Don't get too excited. Still have some winter-like temperatures coming. So definitely be prepared for that. I know that my baby, she has real bad allergies, and she's gotten real sick the last few days. When the temperature changes like that, she gets sick, and then her allergies start to flare up. She starts to cough, and she's all congested, and it gets real bad. So the last couple days, she's been at home with me. And well, not yesterday, she wasn't at home with me, but the day before that, she was at home with me. But she has been sick. She's feeling better. So definitely make sure you don't let that warm weather trick you. Keep your gloves and your hat nearby because it is getting chilly outside. I did look up some temperatures in some different states because I was like, man, it's getting cold here. Like, let me go and check out some temperature in some different cities to see, what it's looking like out there. So I looked out west because my sister is in Surprise AZ. So my boy Eddie, who tunes in, he's definitely out in AZ as well. So I like to report some of the weather in different cities. So in Phoenix, it's currently summer-like temperatures. I'm really jealous. They are at about 86 degrees right now, and they're going to get to a high of 94 today. So it's going to be like 95 degrees out there, and here we are with 47 degree weather, and I'm a little jealous, if I might say so myself. So lucky for Phoenix. Out in Cali, they're also seeing some sunny skies. It's currently 75 degrees out in Cali, and they're going to be expecting a high of 73 today. So, no, 83. I'm sorry. They're going to be expecting a high of 83. So it's going to be really beautiful out in California. California is one of my favorite places. I've lived out there for a short period, and I really, really loved it. And I was so depressed when I had to move back to Ohio. But, Ohio is home. Home is home. And I ended up coming back. But Out in New York, the skies aren't so beautiful. It's looking a little like our weather. You're going to need your rain boots and umbrella. It's definitely raining all day long out in New York, and the temperatures are in the mid 40s. So their weather is a lot like our weather here. And if you're out that way, or if you're going to be traveling out there, you definitely want to take your coat with you. So as far as traffic's concerned, I haven't seen any accidents or incidents on the road. I came in this morning from my job and traffic was pretty clear. I had to take the Anthony Wayne Trail, and I didn't see too much traffic. So everything's looking pretty good out there. I do want to inform you guys that the Oco app, and this isn't a sponsored ad anyway, I just like to talk about it because it's such a convenient app. So I want to make it convenient for you guys, my listeners and viewers, when you guys are commuting back and forth to work or school or wherever it is that you're going. I want you to know what's going on the road. So the Oco app is this app that you can download on your phone, or you could just like Google it in your browser, whatever you want to do. But if you download the app to your phone, you can go straight to your phone, and anywhere in Ohio, you can get real-time traffic information. So it can literally pull up cameras from all over Ohio's turnpikes and highways. And basically you just click on your area and it'll bring up all of everything in your area, the construction, the accidents, incidents, anything that's going on the road. So I always, I have the Oco app on my phone, and when I'm traveling, I'm always looking ahead to see what's going on around me so that I can kind of be prepared and, avoid any type of road closures or accidents or anything like that. So the traffic, like I said, isn't all that bad. I wanted to talk about something that I saw on 13ABC. Shout out to 13ABC. I always love to give my sources because I'm always watching the news. I'm always on social media. I'm always doing my research, trying to figure out what's going on in the headlines and in the blog so that I can bring it to my peeps. And I read there was a story on 13ABC where the Esther law had just went into effect. The Esther law went into effect because to basically help elderly people from being abused. There's so much elderly abuse going on in nursing homes and facilities all over where people are just basically, they're entrusting their family members, to these facilities, expecting that their family members are going to be taken care of and treated well. And a lot of times they're paying a lot of money for these facilities and for these services. And then you have nurses and aides and other people who work there who basically abuse these patients. And in the case of Esther was an elderly woman who was in a nursing home in Cleveland, Ohio. And her son had suspected that she was being abused because when he would go visit her, he said she just wasn't herself anymore. She was just looking depressed all the time. He started noticing bruises on her and different things like that. So he installed a camera, what do they call it? Like a spy, not a spy camera, but those cameras, a hidden camera, basically. He hid a camera in her room somewhere, and he was able to get actual footage of this of this aide abusing his mother. So I was able to get some video. I got this from 13abc.com. You can go over to 13abc.com and see the whole story. But for now, I just want to show you guys this video because it is, now I'm going to warn you, it is very graphic. I definitely came to tears watching this video. It was very sad to see the video footage that he was able to get on camera. But this man said that his mom had been at this particular facility for months, and he was only able to get 6 weeks of footage, but he was able to get this several different aides basically abusing his mother. And so after all of that happened, it came down. Obviously, these people lost jobs, charges were brought up against them, and it became this, national story. And now he took it all the way to, the highest that you can take it. And they have put into effect the Esther law, which basically allows family members to place cameras inside their loved ones' rooms if they are in a nursing facility or nursing home or any type of facility. So that's what the Esther law is for. But I'm going to go ahead and just shoot to this video just so you guys can see it for yourself. It's a story that was done by 13ABC. This is not my work. I'm just sharing the video because I think it's a great story. So I definitely want to give my props to 13ABC. But I want you guys to see this video because it is really, really, really sad what goes on in these nursing homes. So I'm going to show you guys this video. Just be prepared because, like I said, it is pretty graphic.
Back in 2011, Steve Piskor had a bad feeling about the Cleveland nursing home his mother, Esther, was staying in.
I was seeing changes in my mother, seeing bruises on her. That prompted me to put in a hidden camera. When I put the hidden camera in, I really didn't know how to operate the camera. So it ran for 6 weeks, and I caught 8 aides abusing her.
He describes the horrifying abuse she endured.
One aide was hip throwing her onto the bed and grabbing her by the head and picking her up, and she dropped her in a chair and jabbed her in the face.
After catching all this on camera, Piskor knew he had to do something. So he created Esther's Law. This allows family members to put cameras in loved ones' rooms so they can constantly have an eye on the elderly person in their lives.
Families are going to have something that I didn't have. If I would have had this camera in, it would have probably stopped the abuse. I wouldn't have to watch my mother being abused.
Most of all, he thinks his mother, Esther, would be so proud.
I'm sure she's looking down upon it and extremely happy. All that she went through, I mean, it's unimaginable because
So yeah, like I said, that story does come from 13abc.com. I just wanted to take a brief clip of that video just to share the story because it was such a compelling story and very well done by them. And it just goes to show what goes on in these types of facilities. And I'm glad that they were able to, because of this horrible incident, they were able to, make change and make this law go into order. But I'm just confused as to why it wasn't already legal. How come I can't put a camera in my mom's room if I'm entrusting my mom to this nursing home and I'm paying all this money, or her insurance is paying all this money, or whoever is paying all this money to this facility? Then I should be able to put a camera up in his or her room in order to see what's going on. But it's just crazy that it's just now coming into effect that this law is just now happening. So I just thought that was like a crazy, sad story that his mother had to endure that. And no telling how long she was enduring that type of abuse. He was only able to get 6 weeks of the abuse, and it was just bad. But because of what happened, that law did go into effect, and now people are, it is legal to put cameras into your family members' rooms if they are in a nursing facility or a nursing home or any sort of medical facility, so that you can see what's going on and be sure that your family is being taken care of and cared for well. So I thought that was a great story. Shout out to 13ABC for that. I want to talk a little bit about Brittany Griner. Now, this is a crazy story because she was arrested in the Ukraine. She's been in custody. I'm sorry, not in Ukraine. She's been in Russia. She's been in Russian custody since February 17th for allegedly attempting to bring vape cartridges with hashish oil into the country. She's a WNBA star, an Olympic gold medalist, and she travels overseas. She makes basically 3 times what she makes overseas playing than she does in America. So she does play for the WNBA here in America, but then on the off season, she goes overseas and plays out there because she makes more money. And in traveling, she, allegedly, some cartridges were found in her luggage. She was detained, and she has been in Russian custody since February 17th. The U.S. Consular officers have been trying to basically get her home. They've been meeting with different officials over there in Russia, and they claim that they have spoken to her and she is in well condition, quote unquote. But I don't know how well you could be doing being held in a Russian prison in the middle of a Russian war, away from all your family and friends. I mean, by yourself, don't know what is going to happen. Her future is hanging in the balance. She's being charged with a lot of charges, and she's facing up to about 10 years in a Russian prison. So the U.S. consular official was able to verify that she's doing well and can, as well as can be expected anyway. They're going to continue to work closely with her legal team and try to basically get her home. But I definitely think that we need to basically bring more and more awareness to what's going on, because the first time I saw this story was a few days ago. Someone had shared it on Facebook and was saying that, had this been a male athlete, had it been Steph Curry or LeBron James or someone like that, and had this happened to them, it would be a much bigger story, and people all over all of the media outlets all over our country would be covering this. It would be a national story. And it's just crazy because this happened over a month ago. And I just heard about this not that long ago, just a few days ago. So I just think it's really horrible what's going on. I mean, I don't know, allegedly, like we say, this is all alleged that she was found with these with this contraband on her person, but they are saying that there is an investigation period that's going to take place, and it's going to expire May 19th. So if they're trying to basically get her home, I guess, by then. But the point is that all I can think is May 19th. Are you telling me that she's going to have to just continue to sit in this Russian prison for the next 2 months while, her future just hangs in the balance, and she doesn't know what's going on? And I don't know. It's just a sad story. So I definitely think that more people need to bring more awareness to this situation. I think it's crazy that, it's not a bigger story than what it is. We have an American athlete and celebrity and woman overseas in this Russian prison, and nobody's talking about it. No one's talking about it. So I just think that that's crazy. And I definitely wanted to shed some light on that. And I'm definitely praying for her safe return to the U.S. Whatever it is that she took over there doesn't garner, being held captive in a Russian prison. I mean, it's crazy, everything that's going on. Russia has invaded Ukraine. They're at war. Nobody knows what's going on. And so I know if it were me, I would be scared to death. And I'm sure she probably is. So I'm sending prayers to her and her family, because that has to be a very difficult thing to be dealing with right now. That is definitely what's been going on. One thing I want to talk about, and I'm definitely going to have someone from the real estate industry, probably my boy Rob Pasker, on this next coming up week to talk about real estate, because this is an industry that I'm now starting to venture into. And after not flipping because I live in my home, but after buying my first home and remodeling, and eventually I will be flipping this property, I've gotten this sudden love for real estate. And I've always wanted to get my real estate license, and I've always wanted to be in real estate somehow. Don't really exactly know what I'm going to do in it, but I am becoming invested in it. And I've been meeting with Rob Pasker a lot. And I think it's very important that we continue to shed awareness about the real estate industry, because I was listening to the Breakfast Club this morning, and they're saying that rent is up 17% in the last year or two since with COVID and everything happening, and the war going on in Ukraine, and prices raising, and just everything, inflation going on, all of this happening. Basically, rent has increased all over the nation by 17%. They actually say, though, in Cleveland and Detroit is the smallest percentage of increase. So in our area, we've seen a smaller increase. It's been somewhere around 6 or 7%. But all over the nation, say like California, they're saying Miami, the most expensive places to live are San Diego, San Francisco, LA, New York, Miami. And all of those places, rent has gone up 17%. But like I said, even in our area, rent has went up 7%. So I think it's very important to continue talking about, especially within our community, about homeownership and how you can get out of the habit of renting and get into your own home and your own property, so that you can create wealth for yourself and for your children and your family. It's very important. So that's something that we're going to be talking about later on next week. But for now, I definitely want to dive into this interview. I have my boy Stevie Darrington, who I'm going to be bringing in real soon. And I'm going to take a quick break and bring him in. But he is in the insurance industry, and he is he has done very successful in this field. He's built an empire, building an empire for him and his family, and for other people in the insurance industry. He's been a leader, and he's just making things happen. He's winning awards. He's, at the top of every list. He's a golden boy. So I definitely am going to bring him in so we can talk to him, and you guys can see what he's got going on. Let's see. Oh, there he is. There he is. We're going to take a quick break though. And I'll be right back to bring him in. So keep it locked right here. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back. It's your girl, Leah Renee. You are here watching LRTV. Thank you, everybody who's tuned in. I appreciate it. I am here with Stevie Darrington Jr. What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you,
Awesome.
Leah?
Good. I can hear you too. Great. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to, sit down and talk to me. I've been trying to get you in an interview for about a year and a half now. And I guess it took me starting my own show to get you on here. So thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're a busy man.
No problem.
What's going on with you nowadays?
I mean, everything's great. I mean, I'm blessed. God is blessing me even more and more every day. We moving up, and we've been down here for 5 years now. They say if you're in business and you make it past the 2-year mark, you pretty much made it. So we doubled that.
And in the middle of a pandemic too.
Oh yeah, and we had our best year ever in the pandemic, which was great. And it's crazy right now. It just I'm just getting my feet wet. I feel like I'm just now getting in the game where I'm learning the product to the best of my ability, and starting to meet bigger people on a bigger scale. And it's a blessing for me because I'm learning these things at a young age, so I can take it to another level.
Awesome. Well, before we get into your career and how well you've done and how you even got into it, let's talk a little bit about your background. Tell the listeners and the viewers who Stevie Darrington Jr. is. Where did you grow up, first of all?
Well, actually, I grew up in the inner city, Woodstock.
So right here in Toledo, born and raised in Toledo.
Yeah, born and raised in Toledo. We
grew up on Woodstock.
1129 Woodstock. I grew up. So for me to just be here right now, it's just like, coming from where I came from, it's just like a crazy journey, inner city kid, I mean, we had government assistance growing up. I mean, it was just, went to Nathan Hale Elementary. I'm just one of those statistics, that just wasn't supposed to make it, and the odds were against me to make it, and I took a leap of faith, and every day of my life, and I'm here.
That's amazing. So you went to what schools coming up, or what schools in that area?
I went to elementary, Nathan Hale Elementary. Then I went to Burndale Junior High. And then I transferred. My sister went to Scott. She graduated from Scott High School. I went there for 1 quarter and I hated it. So I was like, I asked my mom, Mom, can I get out of here? I need to go.
Why did you hate it? What did you hate about Scott?
It was just, I mean, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what it was. Don't get me wrong. Scott's a great high school. My cousin Chris Darrington, he loves Scott. He says, So I went to Libby. I just transferred to Libby because maybe that's why I feel like I hated Scott at the time because I graduated from Libby. So I don't know. I just didn't like it really. So I
Yeah, because
transferred.
Libby and Scott were like complete rivals, and
Yeah,
so
complete rivals.
okay, so
Yup.
that
Well,
makes
when
sense.
we was around, Libby's gone, but Scott and Libby games was unlike any other if you ever experienced
Yeah.
it.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
can't have grown up in Toledo and didn't go to a Scott Libby game. Like,
oh man, absolutely. Them was the time. Them was the days for sure. But yeah, so I graduated from Libby High School. I went to college
what year did you graduate?
2008.
Okay, okay.
So
And
'08.
so, did you try college out, or were you like, nah, that's not for me?
I absolutely went to college. I had a scholarship to go play football
Oh,
at Ashland
wow.
University. Yeah, I was playing football and baseball. I was on a partial scholarship for both, so I had a full ride to go to college. I went to Ashland University in Ashland, Ohio. It's a private college, and then I transferred to University of Findlay, and I played football and baseball at University of Findlay as well. My scholarship transferred there too, so I went to school there for 1 year. So I finished my freshman and sophomore year in college. And then I transferred back home to University of Toledo. And I went to University of Toledo to my junior year. And then I pulled my hamstring. I popped it in half. So I couldn't really run
Ugh.
full speed
Oh my
anymore. So
gosh.
scholarship
Ouch.
was out the window. And my friend Andre, he actually was driving a brand new Chrysler 300 at the time. I'm telling you, we was so young, and he was like at the time he was like 20 years old, and I was like 19 or something, and he had this car, and I'm like, bro, where'd you get that car from? He was like, man, I bought it. He was like, I bought it, bro. I work. I was like, where you work? He was like, I was like, can you get me an interview? So he's like, yeah, and that kind of how it happened. That's how I got into insurance, and
So, so you attribute you getting into insurance to Dre McCullum.
yeah, Andre McCullum. Yep.
Yeah, and that's yeah, I just kind of mentioned him because I had interviewed him last week, and I was saying like it's so important. That's why I wanted to have both of you on here, because you both are young Black successful men who have not only been able to come from an inner city neighborhood and grow up and get out of the madness, and get into an industry and then be successful at it, but then you're able to build your own empire with your name on it and your stamp on it. And I just think that's an amazing thing. And so many people in our community don't have insurance, right? Is that was that a part of the reason why you wanted to get into the insurance industry as well? Or was it mainly just like, no, I need to make some money? and then you
Actually, when I got the interview, I didn't even know what I was interviewing for. I had no idea. Like I was totally just trying to get a job, and I went in there and I took classes, and then when I started doing the classes, I started realizing like, oh, this is insurance. I'm like, okay, so I started learning, through the classes, and I ended up getting my insurance license, and then I started learning about residual income. I had no idea about none of that stuff. I mean, I was 19. I was 19 years old at the time, like 19,
Now,
20 years
for
old.
people who may be watching who still don't know about residual income, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So residual income is an act that you can do where you do an initial act and it continues to make money over time, which you only do an initial act. So for instance, like, if you write a policy, you continue to get paid on that policy over and over and over again, even though you only wrote the policy one time. You can get residual income with other things as well, like um, rental properties. If you rent a house out, you only rent it one time, and you continue to get rental income going forward. So that's pretty much residual income.
Well, awesome. That's a great explanation. I know there's a lot of people who just I think, with our community, a lot of us aren't educated in certain things, and until and until someone can, explain it to you, it's like, I don't know. And then it's like, that don't even make sense. That, we think anything's a scam, as soon as it's
Yeah,
like, oh, you got to go, sell something, or you're going to go, make these phone calls, or, even like you said, speaking of Dre, when I interviewed him, I asked him, how did you become so successful in this field? And he said, I wasn't afraid to get out there and knock on them doors, and put in that work. It took, obviously nowadays it's probably a little bit more, with social media and with marketing and everything like that, it's probably maybe a little more easier. But back then, he was like, I was really pounding the pavement, and
Absolutely.
a lot of people just don't want to have to put in the work, and it's going to take a lot of no's, right? I'm sure you heard a lot of
Yeah.
no's before
Yeah.
you got, maybe that first real check,
Me,
so
I actually trained
work
for
yourself through
3 months.
that discouragement.
I trained for 3 months with Andre without making a dollar. Just learning the business, just learning, just riding around with him. And I literally remember me and him like, he like, hey, hey, we you know what I'm saying? We got like $20 today. Like we ain't got that much to spend. So we got to kind of make this happen all day with the meals, splitting the meals, and he like,
Right.
and I remember those days. You know
A
what I'm
real
saying?
grind.
And so yeah, and we was really grinding. So when me and Dre started coming up, we started learning like we can't we was on the bottom of the totem pole. We just started, so we could only go so far staying together, and we kind of realized that early, in our careers, like we was both too good to stay together, and I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to do more insurance. I didn't want to just only do life insurance. I wanted to do auto insurance, home, business insurance. I wanted to learn about all of it, because I felt like I was leaving money on the table with just only writing life insurance,
Right.
so that's why I kind of got into all of it.
Yeah. And so you've been now, how many years would you say it's been now then?
So that was back 2012, like 2011, 2012. So I actually left. So when me and Dre went our separate ways, I took an MGA position. So I moved to Indianapolis, and I was running the state of Indiana for a company called Lincoln Heritage, a life insurance company. And I actually I built up that company. I had 80 agents under me at the time that worked for me, and I was 23 years old at the time. So I was doing really well. And
Wow.
my son was born, little Stephen. He was born in Indianapolis. At the time, I mean, I was on a millionaire trail out there. And what had happened was my upline, he wanted me to be solely so Lincoln Heritage wanted me to be solely responsible for the state of Indiana. So they pretty much split my team, So I had like 40 agents in Ohio, 40 in Indiana, and they wanted to take my Ohio people and only have me solely responsible for Indiana. But my Ohio team was the people that I personally recruited. Like them was
Mm-hmm.
my friends, my hitters,
Right.
my best people. So they was pretty much taking like half of my income, and they was gonna build me up. At the time, I couldn't see that. I was so young. I only seen what they was taking, but I didn't see the future of what
Right.
I was gonna
Right.
get. So I decided, and plus at the time, my grandmother, she was actually getting sick here in Toledo. So which she passed away, not just a couple years ago, not too long ago, but
Sorry to hear
um,
that.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, so I ended up moving back home from Indianapolis, and I bought a house here. Literally, like I quit that job after that happened. I told them, I said, if y'all can do that to me one time, I feel like y'all can do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom always told me, don't let nobody take advantage of me. And if I feel something in my gut, just go with it. So I felt like they kind of was taking advantage of me, so to speak, and
Yeah.
maybe they
Gotta know
were.
your worth.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to know your worth, So I took a leap of faith. I came back, and I bought a little house, and I had to get in classes, and I got with American Family because I had American Family. That was my car insurance company. So I'm like, I know they got great rates. I can sell a product, So I just
Right.
I just need to get in the door. And it wasn't easy as I thought. It was a mountain hill climb. They said, hey man, we know who you are. We heard of you. Because at this time, when I was in Indianapolis, I had 80 agents under me. I was blowing up in the insurance world. Like literally, like my LinkedIn is crazy. Like you can go on there. I got all-star profile. I'm known all over the United States in insurance. I'm like one of the top agents in the country. So
That's amazing. Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, when I came back home, they pretty much was like, you got to learn our systems. We can't make you an agency owner right away, and so I kind of just fell back and worked under someone, and I started all over.
So, okay, explain that a little bit to me, and other listeners and viewers who aren't familiar with like kind of the process, or how you put it, being at the bottom of the totem pole and really having to work yourself up. Because some people may think like, oh, I could just go get my insurance, like they may see someone like you and Dre, so successful, and have all these nice things, and you have this beautiful life, and they don't understand the iceberg mentality, right? They don't know what you had to go through to get there. So, if you, I'm sorry, I lost train of what I was saying. I know basically what I was asking, like, how do you, what's the process of like getting licensed? And then, like you said, do you have to work under someone, or do you can't just automatically go into like being a CEO?
No.
Like, how does it work? What's the
So
process for that?
different companies got different rules. It depends on what company you're trying to contract with. They all got different processes on how you move up. Thank you, babe.
Shout out to your beautiful wife, Melodee
That's
Darrington.
nice. Yeah, she saw the definition of insurance. That's dope. Yeah, but so different companies got different processes in moving up. Basically, like with with um with some companies, you can start off like as an independent. Like with some of the lower end companies that you can broker out. And then, all right, so let me take it back. So first, you got to get your insurance license. Okay, you gotta get your insurance license. There's 4 different insurance licenses to sell insurance. You got health insurance license. That's to sell health insurance. You got life insurance license. You need that to sell life insurance. You got property insurance license. That's to sell property insurance. You got casualty insurance license. That's so you can sell car insurance. So you need all of those insurance licenses to sell those different lines. And that's just even a start, to do anything. Once you get your insurance licenses, then you can pick a company that you pretty much want to go work for. Now, different companies got different rules. I don't know all the companies' rules because I haven't worked for all the companies. I know some of them. I know some of the companies' rules, like where if you come in, like some life insurance companies, just depending on who you come in under, like however high the person that you come in under on the totem pole is where you land at in line. So if you come under a Dre, like for instance, Dre is at the top of his company, the you can't go no higher than where Dre is in his company.
Wow.
So if you come under him, you can move up until you get to the bottom of Dre. You can't go past
Right.
Dre, but you can move up to the bottom of Dre. Now, say for instance, you come in under one of the people Dre hired, you can only move up to them. You can never
Right.
get to
That's
where
true.
Dre at. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So it just really depends on who you come under, and then when you come under them, that's how much room you got to really grow. Now with PNC, like property and casualty, with like the car insurance companies like American Family, they only hire in house, so they don't hire outside agents to come in and take over agencies. It's not possible. They don't do it. You have to work inside under someone, prove
Mm.
yourself, and then be able to get a agency. So you can't just come into like American Family like I'm the top dog. I'm going to
Right.
agency owner. It don't work like that.
There's
You have
levels to this, like any other industry.
absolutely, yep. So if for instance, and right now I'm the like you said, in the beginning, I like when you said I'm the golden child. So I'm literally the golden child with American Family. I'm the number one agent in the state of Ohio. I mean
That's
that's
amazing.
that's facts,
That's an amazing accomplishment.
and I'm killing it. I mean, Ohio's huge, So, like, if you come in under me and you doing really good, they're gonna look at you first because where you coming from, like the breed of agency that you coming from. So I'm already paving the foundation to bring in young kids when they come out of high school. They get their insurance license. They like, hey, I wanna do insurance. Okay, perfect. Yeah, come work in here. You kill it under me, and then I'll nominate you to get your own agency. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But you have to kill it.
Yeah.
And it's not my call. That's it's coming
Right.
from the top. So they'll look at you. They'll say, Steven, what you think about this young kid that you brought in? You think he got what it takes? And I'll be truthful.
Right.
No, I
Based on
mean,
what you really do.
yeah,
Right.
no, he's showing up at the office at 11 o'clock every morning. He's leaving at 3, or 1. He's not putting in the work. No, he's not ready. Or yeah, he's ready. I know he's showing up early. He's doing what he got to do. He's definitely ready. So and it comes from the agency owner for them to say you're ready to move on. But yeah, you can't just slide in the door like that. So people
Right.
think that, but we've been doing this since
A long
we've been
time. Yeah.
adults. Yeah.
Yeah. And had to really put in a lot of footwork.
Absolutely.
So how long would you say it took you, with from the day you started, in taking your classes, trying to get licensed and all that, to like when you really felt like, okay, I made it.
See, me personally, I feel like that from day one. Like literally, like as soon as I got my license, I knew that I made it. Like I, I'm gonna tell you a little background on me. I bought my first car. Frank White. I don't know if you know who Frank White
Yes,
is.
absolutely.
Frank
Shout out
White,
to Frank White.
he's a legend. Like Frank White
Of
taught me how
course,
to sell
absolutely.
when I was a kid. I used to go door to door selling candles, and candy. I bought my
Wow.
first car doing that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I took my driver ed course and bought my first car selling candles door to door with Frank White. So,
Wow.
I already knew if I had something legal to sell, I was gonna
You was
take
gonna
off.
kill it.
Yeah. So, that's
And I
why.
wonder, okay, so do you think that do you believe in the power of manifestation as well? Do you believe that you just manifested that for yourself, or did you really just feel like, no, I know I knew I had this? I mean, do you
No,
believe in the power of manifestation? How important do you think that is?
Me personally, it's no plan B ever. Like I don't believe in plan B. I don't believe in that. If it's something you want to do in life, whatever that may be, go hard at that. Put that your number one priority. Make sure when you wake up, you breathe that dream. Make sure when you wake up, that's what you're gonna do. That's what you every single day you working hard towards this dream that whatever it is you want to accomplish. There is no plan B. There is no backup. There is no what if I fail. You can't fail as long as you put your everyday hard work energy into that whatever you want to do. You can't fail. You can't lose unless you quit trying. So a lot of people
That's
like, what if?
amazing advice.
Yeah, they're like, what if I fail? You're not going to fail. You can't fail. It's impossible to fail unless you stop. The only way to fail is if you stop. If you stop and say, I can't do this no more, you fail.
Yeah,
especially if it's your dream.
Now, that being said, what have been your biggest challenges in the industry? I mean, obviously you've been successful, you've done great, you've said you've loved it, but what have been what were your times or your scenarios or your situations when it was like, oh damn, I don't know about this, or have you ever felt that way?
So honestly, yes, I have felt like that, and it really was more in the beginning, and it was more when I was trying to become a business owner rather than a salesman. Selling insurance has never been my problem. I've always been good at that. I've always been able to, because that's what I do. That's what I love to do. This is my passion. I don't do it for the money. The money just come with it. I couldn't imagine doing nothing else besides doing insurance because I love doing this every single day. I mean, literally, I wake up to sell insurance, and it sounds cliche to you, but this is my dream. On like, I love selling insurance. I love talking about it. I love knowing about it. I take continuing education classes. So, being said, in the beginning, like becoming a business owner, knowing the business aspect of it, I mean, like marketing plans, like you got to have a business plan. You got to literally have a business plan, and like that kind of stuff was frustrating to me. I was like, man, I don't even know, why do I need a business plan? I could just
Right.
go out and just do my thing and sell and make money, and
Right.
you can't. You gotta know what activities you're doing. You gotta break this down. Like this stuff
Have to have an order of operations.
That's with everything though, Leah. That's with everything. You have to know, you have to have a plan of attack. You have to know the way that you want to move around, or you will always be stagnant. You will always be, just average. You know what I'm saying? If you want to take it to another level, you have to get organized. And that's just how it is.
You're so right about that, Stevie. And I don't know if it's God like working through you, speaking through you to try to speak to me right now. But I feel like, you're talking to me too, because, obviously working in the entertainment industry is definitely a struggle. It's definitely not for the weak hearted, and when you've been pursuing something like as long as I've been pursuing it, I've in the last, I graduated college in 2011 from UT as well. And, I've been pursuing this dream, these goals, this, my passion. And it's just like, little things happen at a time. It's like little sprinkles here and sprinkle. And it's like, you think in the moment, it's like, oh man, like, why isn't, it's like, it gets frustrating because it's like, why isn't nothing happening? You feel like nothing's happening, but little do you know, all those little sprinkles, all those little baby steps are creating a mile, and then creating 10 miles, and then creating, your whole journey. And so for me, it has been like a constant. I've been one of those people. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this now, and I'm gonna do this, and that's been a big frustration for, I think, my support system and the people in my life, because as much as they love me, it's like, no, this is what you was born to do. This is what you just do it, but just really, really go hard. But it's hard sometimes, especially when you're in an industry like yours and like mine, where you have to work sometimes and not get paid. I mean, you have to work sometimes and go hours and hours and days, and I mean, even in my case, weeks sometimes, and not see anything from it except for the joy, that you get inside from doing
Absolutely.
it. So it's a difficult thing. And but hearing you say that, it's almost like I said, I feel like God made me interview you today for a reason, is because I needed to hear that. I need to continue to just go hard. And you do. It's not just me, it's everybody. Whatever your dream is, whatever your job is, whatever your business is, your brand, you have to just constantly wake up in the morning thinking, how can I be better? How can I make it better? How can I be more successful? How can I get to the next goal? And like you said, organization has been my biggest weakness. I mean, I'm the type of person, probably because of the industry that I worked in, in my past, I just, oh no, I do what I want. I'm gonna just come and go as I please. And and no, that's just not how you can't operate like that in life. If you, like you said, if you want to get to a certain level where you are among the elite, no matter what industry you're in, you have to, be the elite. You have to walk like the elite, talk like the elite, wake up, eat, sleep, and breathe everything you do. And if you're not organized, and if you are all over the place, then you're going to constantly, like you said, feel stagnant, and that's been my biggest and hardest challenge, is my own self, being organized and managing time well. And,
you can't get comfortable until you get uncomfortable. I mean, you won't start feeling like you're growing until you feel like, ugh. You get that feeling that, you like, oh man, that's when you starting to see some results from what you're doing. So you have to believe in yourself, for one. And you don't have nobody to, like, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody except yourself, and I know that. But I post on Facebook and stuff the things that I do, because I want people to see that this stuff can be done.
It's possible.
I'm literally, it's possible. I'm literally like an example of what most inner city kids come from. Like, I'm 31 years old and I have 8 houses. 8 houses. I have.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
God. So you know what I'm saying. So I like. And that's not, I'm not bragging, I'm just saying it can happen. And I just want people to see the process on, like, if you work hard for what you want and believe in yourself and you learn along the way, there's no limit to what you can accomplish.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. And, before we go, I really appreciate this interview. It's been a great show. I can't even believe it's already 11:30. I'm like, dang, where'd the time go? I really, really wanted to have Mrs. Darrington come on the show today too. But I know it was kind of like last minute when I asked. So I definitely hope that I can get her. I'm going to have to inbox her, because I want to get her on here, especially before the end of Women History Month, because I think it's important to highlight, the women, right? And
I love her.
You are a strong, successful man. And how important has it been having, your wife at your side and being there to support your dreams and your everything?
I wanted to stand on that too.
Brag on her for a little bit, since she didn't want to come brag on herself.
So I couldn't imagine doing this without my wife, simply because it's so important to have that person in your corner that push you when you feel like you can't go no more. Sometimes, I get to the point where I'm like, man, I can't do this. I'm going hard, but I'm like, man, I can't go no harder. I need something, some energy or something, So my wife is that spark for me. She gives me that extra. You can do it. Go. You can see. Look at her. You've been number one since you started. Like, she always motivates me to be a better me. And I absolutely think that's helping me, glow and grow. And not only that, but she's becoming a better. She's looking at me and she's bettering herself as well. Like, she just finished her classes to get her license, her PNC license. And and this is, off the record, but I know people watching, but we working to open up a whole nother American Family office under her, so she
I
can,
love that. That's amazing. That's
be an
amazing.
agency owner as well. So that's the next move we trying to make, and it haven't happened yet, but we manifesting that to happen
Yes,
so that
absolutely.
it can happen. So I love her, man. I think that she's pushing me to be a great person, a great man. I'm so happy she gave me a beautiful daughter
Yes,
finally.
I was gonna say congratulations on the newest
Thank you.
edition. A beautiful, beautiful little baby girl.
Thank you.
Beautiful. You guys have a very beautiful family. Very, very beautiful family. And I see you both going hard. I mean, her, she has her I know she does stuff with the beauty industry as well as just holding down a family of it's a lot of you guys.
Yes, yes.
You guys got 5 boys, right?
Yep, 5 boys
And
and
then
one
and then
girl.
your little girl. So six.
Yeah.
I mean, I give
My
her because I got 3, and I'm like, Jesus, I don't know. Like,
Well, my son was just at home telling her she needed a break yesterday. He was like, you just
aw,
cleaned up, you cleaned our rooms, you cooked dinner, you doing
aw,
everything right here. You need a
our
break.
sons are everything. Yeah, she's
So yeah,
amazing. She definitely is someone who I've watched. I mean, I don't know her personally. I've been able to meet her a couple times, and she's just absolutely beautiful, inside and out. And I've watched her just from social media and kind of, been like, you know, dang, I really hope one day I can be that type of wife, that type of person, So it is though. It's inspiring, and it's for women and men, for single people to be able to see, a married couple like you guys, power couple, striving, being there for each other, to support each other, raising your kids, just being a beautiful family and raising an
thank
empire,
you,
and it's something to congratulate, and it's definitely something to be proud of. And
thank you.
I think you guys are amazing. So I appreciate the both of you. I appreciate her tuning in and shouting you out, and she's always there to support you, and I appreciate you taking out the time to pop in with me. And definitely got to get Melodee on here. So I'm gonna reach out to her and get her on here so we can talk about her own personal journey and career. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate you so much,
You're
Stevie. Thank you
welcome.
for taking the time today.
Okay.
This has been a great interview, and I can't wait to see. Well, for actually, what do you got coming up? What's going on? Will you just told us? Actually, you already told us. You just said you and your wife are working on a new agency, so that's what's coming
Yeah.
up in the future. And
Yep.
anything else that we can look forward to from you?
I mean, that's pretty much it. That's a big goal for us, and it's not an easy one. This has been like years and years of coming, so we've been just preparing for it and praying about it. So we hoping God bless us with that,
Yeah,
and
then at
let
the
her.
same time, you over here like renovating kitchens and like putting in. I'm like, what? This man is just does it all. So that's
Yeah,
awesome,
I
though.
don't
That's really
I don't
awesome.
sleep. I
So
don't
shout out to
chill.
you. That's
I go
amazing.
hard all day. I go home and work. I work after work, after work, after work. So
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know when this man ever sleeps, because it's like I remember the one day you were like in the office with a bow tie on, and then like a couple hours later you were like digging out a trench. Like, I'm like, what in the world? Like, so I give it up to you and Melodee. You guys both do it
thank you.
all from business to the home front, and it works for you guys. So congratulations to you. I
Appreciate
wish
that.
you much success. Before you go, let everybody know where they can find you if they would like to meet with you and talk to you, to get a
Absolutely.
policy or to even get into the industry.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, my office is located downtown Toledo, 239 North Erie Street, 43604. We're here Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. You need business insurance, any kind of insurance, auto, home, life. We do it all. We can bundle LLCs, SR22s, general liability, whatever you need, we got you. My email sdaring@amfam.com. If you need to email me, if you want to get classes, to get in classes, to get started on this road. We are looking to hire right now. It's so hard finding some people that actually go through classes and get their insurance license. Like
Yeah.
I said, we're working on a whole nother office, so we are gonna need the help. So if that's the road you want to take, we willing to help you through that road. And you can check our Facebook, Stephen Darrington Jr. Agency, American Family Insurance. Like our page, please. And leave us Google reviews if you've dealt with us in the past. That always helps us move up in Google and helps us stay at the top.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you again. Thank you so much for stopping in. And I will definitely, be checking in with you to see if you got any new events or new, things coming up. And you make sure you stay locked with LRTV. You go over there to YouTube and subscribe, mister. You and Melodee. You guys better go subscribe.
Thanks, Leah.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. You have a great week.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Yes. So again, that was my boy Stevie Darrington Jr., CEO of Darrington Agency. He has built a great career in the insurance industry, and he's creating paths for people to come up under him, and just building a great empire. So shout out to him and his beautiful wife, Melodee Darrington. They're doing big things. So I appreciate all of you for tuning in to my show. Let me get this down. Okay. I appreciate you guys for tuning into the show today. This has been another great show. It's Women's History Month. I didn't get a chance to talk about any of the great women in history, but I will be doing that tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. We're going to talk all about women's history. I'm going to be hitting you guys with some facts. We're going to talk about some great women who impacted history. We're going to talk about some great women locally who are making an impact, and, just talk all things women. So tune in tomorrow for another great show. I appreciate all the love and support. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor of LRTV, please inbox me. I will be posting a brochure of my sponsorships shortly, and I am looking for sponsors. So please, if you are interested in becoming a sponsor, hit me up. Also, go over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, LRTV. I'm gonna keep saying it all day, every day. I have 5,000 friends on Facebook, and I only have 111 subscribers. So I need you guys to please, it doesn't cost you anything. Just go on over to YouTube, hit that subscribe, like and share my videos, and just continue to hold it down for your girl. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back tomorrow for another great show, like I said. So until then, until next time. Mwah.